Hey guys, it's Nick and Keith for another episode of Ask J&A. Today's question, love it, is coming from our website. Keith said I was kind of rubbing his face a little bit when some of the social media stuff actually takes hold and clients engage us through that.
So coming around.
So this actually came from a prospective client. Was reading our blog, trying to introduce themselves to our firm, which I think if you haven't spent time on our website is a great way to kind of understand our team members and some of our philosophy and some of the tools we use. But this actually came from a prospective client, so I think it's a good question, and perhaps if you're an existing client, it may be relevant to you as well. Nick, if you could ask.
I saw your blog that it's all about income. What do you mean?
Yeah. So that was a recent blog that Keith actually authored, and it's a focus of our firm. So I mean, it didn't come as a surprise to us. Probably came a little bit of a surprise to a prospective client, maybe that doesn't have that particular mindset just yet. But for us, it is all about income. So I'll let Keith elaborate since he did author the blog.
Well, the nature of that is what Nick echoes was what we believe, but I think it's really common sense when it comes to business, but often not what we focus on or what financial media wants to talk about. If you watch CNBC, they're talking about whether XYZ company will perform, whether Caterpillar went up or down last month in value, what their 52-week high was. All those things, they drowned out really what investors decades ago really started. They cared about the cash flows from a company, and they cared about those cash flows, better known as dividends, because they produce income. And if they had good income, they could buy those stocks or bonds or whatever, and they could live off those, whether it was a CD, a bond, or stock. And what we point to is that the real nature of long-term investing should be about creating income that exceeds your expenses. And those two factors can be boiled down to science, as Nick will talk about with some of the tools he uses, but understanding your income from your portfolio as early as you can and using the investments to grow that income, just a vehicle to grow your income in a predictable way. If to give you an example of that, if we created a job offering, I said, well, you can have a really high wage, but the job might only last for 6 months. Yeah. Or many people say, no, I want something stable, even if the job pays less in the near term. Those distribution of cash flows. So when you don't talk about income as part of the work that you're doing in your portfolio with your advisor or with our team, we're missing the key ingredient to know whether you're on a track to wealth. The blog kind of continues, and I'll turn it up to Nick, though. It says, are you better to focus on having a big return in a given 1 year or the predictability? I think we cite a 20 or 25% return. So you hear your neighbor talking about, I got a 20% return. Is that a good thing? Well, its face sounds like a good thing, but I would tell you it probably is tracking the wrong thing. It's paying attention to the wrong thing. What I'd rather, and I think evidence would show, is if we have your income that's predictable, let's say $6,000 a month, and you spend $4,000 on a predictable basis, you have an understanding that your expenses and your income $6,000, your expenses $4,000. I can assert that client's going to be in good financial condition over the long haul. They have a surplus or can develop wealth. If someone has a 20% return one time, that can be very fleeting and very possible. Yeah. You take a lot of risk, is what a 20% return would tell us. Mm-hmm. But it might not produce anything that's predictable and sustainable. But what many people want to communicate about, and our job is to help you better understand that here at Jennings and Associates, is the income. Surplus of income is far more important than a shot in the arm of performance. It might feel good, but it's really distracting from what's valuable.
And why it probably seems a little bit natural when you start hearing it is because it's how everybody makes their life. I mean, rarely I can imagine somebody going to their boss and saying, I'm really worried about our valuation this quarter. That's not something you do. What you do, you go, I need a pay raise. I'm looking at my expenses and cost of living went up, and I need a raise. You're not going in and saying, well, don't worry about my income, more with that. But let's talk about the company's valuation today. And that's what so many investors are doing in retirement when they're focused on performance. They're worried about other companies' valuations, and they need to be focused about their income.
And those valuations, particularly in the short end of that, create tons of things that not only are they not really addressed from the root cause of what creates good wealth over time, but they create a ton of anxiety. Mm-hmm. So we focus on these changes in the short term. Certainly to think that we can influence that. And advisors suggest, we're going to be able to buy those at low prices. Well, only if you've, in other blogs we've had, it's about how there's almost little no evidence anybody can produce those type of results, but you can prepare
Absolutely.
in advance for those.
So absolutely, I mean, if you're in the walls here, you understand we believe it's all about income. We focus all of our investments around excellence, what we believe in producing income for your life. So for us, it is all about income, and that is what we mean by it. So we thank you for your time, and have a good day.